weeks away from your due date or stressing about childbirth midway through your second trimester, this video is for you. Most women arrive at the hospital for birth and have absolutely no idea what to expect and what's about to happen. And sometimes childbirth does not go according to plan at all, and you just have to roll with the punches. But what if I told you that you are able to make a personalized game plan for your labor and delivery, a document that outlines your wishes, preferences, and priorities, a communication tool between you and your partner and your entire healthcare team. This is where a birth plan comes in. In this video, I'll walk you through the must-haves in your birth plan, but also share a few insider tips that most first-time moms don't find out until they're already in labor. But first, who am I? Hi, I'm Liz, a registered nurse and kinesiologist focusing on maternal wellness. On this channel, I talk about all things pregnancy, postpartum, birth, and baby care. So hit that subscribe button for more videos and subscribe to my weekly newsletter where I send you tips and tricks on these topics straight to your inbox. That will also be linked down below. Let's get started. So what exactly is a birth plan? A birth plan is a personalized game plan for labor and delivery. It is a written outline of your preferences and priorities for the big day. It's not a rigid contract, and it's not about controlling every moment because, again, birth rarely goes exactly how we imagine it to go. But your birth plan is your voice, even when you're in the thick of contractions. This is why it is helpful to have, especially as a first-time mom. It empowers you and gives you confidence that you have options. And last but not least, it helps to relieve stress because when it comes time to make decisions, you've already thought them through. So how do you go about making a birth plan? First, start by educating yourself. Learn about the stages of labor and delivery. Understand what to expect during each phase. Learn about cord clamping, breastfeeding, vitamin K injections, etc. Next, research your options, pain relief methods, birthing positions, things like that. Consider your values and preferences. Reflect on what aspect of the birthing experience are the most important for you. If all of this seems overwhelming, feel free to subscribe to my newsletter. I send it out weekly and it's information that covers these kind of topics, so you can learn about them bit by bit leading up to childbirth. All the articles are also available on my Substack as well in that link. Now, what are the components of a birth plan and what should you think through? Here is what you should include. First of all, your labor environment. Think about who do you want present in the room? Partner, family, members, a doula. This is a very vulnerable time for you, so don't be afraid to say who you want in there and who you do not want in there. Other things like preferences for lighting, music, noise levels, comfort measures like birthing balls, essential oils, etc. Next, you want to think about pain management. Your desired approach to pain relief can include natural methods or it can include epidural. Please be sure to do your research on this. I've seen many moms want to try natural methods and then switch to epidural. So see if your hospital does allow for this. Also include your preferences regarding other use of pain medication as well. You also want to include your labor progress and types of interventions. So the use of synthetic oxytocin, also called Pitocin. This is a hormone that we have present in our body that allows us to contract our uterus and push baby out. Sometimes the hospital will give you more of this hormone if you're struggling to give birth. So make sure that this is something that you're aware of and that you are okay with. Your birthing preferences for assisted vaginal delivery. Vacuum and forceps can be used if needed to help pull the baby out as well. Your preferences regarding a cesarean birth. So sometimes you need to get a C-section. Make sure to have preferences on how do you want that to go as well. Now, as a nurse, I feel like I do have to say this. Some moms prefer a fully natural birth with no Pitocin, no C-section options, no forceps, nothing, which is completely fine. But if I can give you a piece of advice, it is to allow that to happen until it is medically necessary to intervene. Because as a nurse, I've seen firsthand how natural births can sometimes quickly go wrong in the blink of an eye. And if the medical team didn't intervene with forceps or vacuum, or if we didn't have a continuous fetal monitor on, the baby or the mom may have not made it. So yes, I do understand that women have been giving birth for thousands of years, but not all of those births ended well. Birthing is a fairly safe process today because of all the medical interventions that we do have available to you. So give room in your birth plan to allow for those and make room in your mind to allow for those to happen if they are medically necessary. necessary too. I think that when you go into birth with that kind of frame of mind, you're not as disappointed by how your birth went if it does require a lot of medical interventions. If you're solely stuck on the natural birth and then the medical team does intervene, sometimes it can just make you feel not that great. So if you do have an all-natural birth and you're happy with it, more power to you. That's amazing. But if it doesn't go like that for everybody, so be open to medical procedures in order to save baby and yourself. Okay, moving on to the next component is the actual delivery of the baby. So who would you like to announce the baby's gender? What wishes do you have regarding immediate skin to skin? Skin to skin is recommended to do all the time, but sometimes it can be forgotten, especially if the baby was taken away for a health reason. When they bring the baby back, make sure that you voice that you still do want to do skin to skin. Make sure to voice your preferences on delayed cord clamping in your birth plan as well. You could also state who you would like to cut the umbilical cord. Is it your partner? Is it the doctor? You can put that preference there. Also put your preferences for immediate postpartum care. So your plans for feeding baby. Is it formula? Is it breastfeeding? Is it a combination of both? Another very important thing I will say that you probably should decide is if you're going to breastfeed or not. Because if you don't initiate breastfeeding or hand express milk within the first hour of birth, it could actually be very hard to continue to make your breast milk, and you may be stuck with formula feeding. A lot of people don't know this, so it's a decision that you should make prior to the baby arriving so that if you do choose to breast milk, you can have an easier time doing that. I am working on an entire breastfeeding course because I know it is very important for people to understand how it works. If it is available at the time of you watching this video, it'll be linked down below. If not, stay tuned, it's coming soon. Okay, so back to your preferences during birth. You also want to include whether or not you want a vitamin K injection to be given and eye ointment as well. Vitamin K is needed for blood clotting and it prevents bleeds as well. And eye ointment is given to prevent infections. You want to state your wishes regarding rooming in. So do you want to keep the baby in your room? I know that in most North American hospitals, they do keep the baby in the room as well. Make sure you state your preferences on visitors in the immediate postpartum period, because after you give birth, sometimes everybody that you've ever known wants to come see the baby, which is great and all, but it also doesn't give the mom time to recover. Sometimes it can feel a little bit overwhelming. So make sure to state that in your birth plan as well, so at least your partner and your family knows. Next section is care of the newborn. So your preferences for bathing the newborn, the timing of it. When the newborn is first birthed, you don't want to bathe your newborn right away, usually, because the newborn does have a natural protective layer on it, on its skin. But again, it's up to you. You also want to state your wishes regarding pacifier use. Again, if you are breastfeeding, you want to avoid the pacifier because you want the baby to learn how to latch onto your breast, and latching onto the breast and latching onto a pacifier are two different muscle movements. So if you want to teach them to latch onto the breast, you want to avoid the pacifier. Also, you want to include any specific cultural or religious practices that you would like to observe as well, especially if you're not giving birth in your home country, for example. So these are some of the most important aspects of a birth plan. I will have one available for you down in the description below, and it'll be just a checklist that you can check off. If you are making your own birth plan, make sure it's simple to read and straight to the point. Be very specific, because nobody at the hospital is going to read an entire essay of your preferences. They move very quickly there, but they will glance at a sheet of paper with bullet points. Nurses change shifts, and your birth plan keeps everybody on the same page. Talk through it with your partner, review it with your OB or midwife. A birth plan is more than a list. It's your voice, your values, your vision for one of the biggest moments in your life. But keep in mind that birth is very unpredictable, so be open to other options as well. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to leave a comment down below on what you would include in your birth plan. See you in the next video.